I want to say I was a manager for roughly around 5, almost 6 years. And what that like, and again, it is a hair salon. And what that is like, it's a lot of learning curves. I'm going to say my first 1 to 2 years was definitely a lot of learning. I'm still learning as is. However, the experiences I went through, I never thought I would get into as a manager. Like, I know how like the schedule is making and everything. However, it is more than just being a manager. It's being a leader. It's following by example. It is also setting those boundaries. Yes, it is great pay. At the same time, if I knew what I know now, I don't know if I would have been a manager, to be honest, because it is giving up a lot for your job. Like your personal time basically is gone. And that's the downside of it. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. That's what it is. However, you do build the relationships as you do. You do get to build your own schedule, which is super nice. It's just with the amount of people, and I've gotten two aspects in my career. I've gotten, oh, I'm the best manager ever, to you're the worst manager ever. I can't believe they put you in this position, blah, 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 blah. Those are the two things I've always gotten. The people that mainly did not like that I was a manager was because I had to put my foot down and I had to take that role as a manager of, okay, you're not going to just do whatever you want here. We're actually going to follow the rules. And if you don't like it, well, tough shit. Sorry, I had to change. The lighting was a little off. Anyways, so the people that did not like that I was in that manager role was the people that were just not doing their job. And they think that they could come in to a work environment thinking that they could do whatever they want when that is actually not reality. Reality is you apply for this job knowing that you have to do certain tasks. And I don't expect you to go above and beyond. It would be great if you went above and beyond, but I don't expect you to go above and beyond. When we start having the issue is when the stylist or when the employee thinks that I can do whatever I want and I'm not going to get fired for it, when in reality, yes, that is exactly what's going to happen. People don't realize that aspect is people or managers will fire you. And I've gotten to the point of my manager career or career job, I guess. If you hold against me, you're going to quit because I laid down the law, I will hold that door wide open. You just gave me more hours. Thank you very much. I'm not salary, I'm hourly. So thank you so much for giving me that. And you have a nice day. I have let people walk out before because I'm like, you're not going to disrespect me and how I think I need things ran. And again, I've had two different aspects. I've had one that has told me, you've been doing an amazing job. Actually, my last store that I managed, literally we had to cry and fest because they even told me I'm one of the best managers ever. To, again, I've had people threaten my life because I decided to lay down the law. Finding out later on that they were on drugs anyway. So it didn't even matter. It did not even matter anyways what they even thought or perceived me as. These women are twice my age, and they think just because I'm in my 20s and you're like in your 40s or 50s, you don't think that the rules apply to you. Yeah, no, that doesn't happen. I literally will open up the door wide, and it's like, okay, bye. If you don't want to follow it, goodbye. And the funny thing is, I have talked to stylists. I'm like, as long as you do your job, because I really am a relaxed manager. As long as we do your work and go home, and also you don't have to talk to people. Like, I'm a very much of an introvert myself, so I don't force my employees to talk, because I've also heard that some managers will fire because you're not like engaging enough, when in reality nobody is obligated to talk to another coworker. Nobody's obligated to do that. So I don't hold that against a stylist or a employee in general. However, if you come to work slack off, decide to let everybody else do the work for you, and you're not contributing some way, somehow, then yes, I'm going to make it harder for you to be there. You coach them in or you coach them out, basically. And I'm, it is what it is at this point. I don't take shit from anybody. And the thing is, like, it's your paycheck or mine. And I like my paycheck and I need to pay my bills. Sorry, that just sucks. Like, if I have to get rid of you, I have to get rid of you. And if a company chooses the employee over a manager or a supervisor, there's something wrong with that company, because I've seen it before in managing. I've managed 4 or 5 different stores. The first one was my longest one. It was for 4 years. And then last year I kind of bounced around a little bit. One wasn't my fault because they had to close the store. It was already on a downslope already before me. It was only making $1,000 a week, and that's just not profitable for a salon. So they closed it down, moved me to another one. I couldn't do it because it was an hour drive. So then I went back to my original store just across the street. It was a lot of moving around last year. I didn't like it at all. And I don't like salon hopping either. So it is what it is. The only reason I left my first franchise was because I honestly, to be very honest, I didn't agree how he was running it. I did not agree, that there were some things I did not agree with, and they basically will, if you are breathing, you have a heartbeat, they don't care. If you have a cosmetology license, they don't care. They'll bring in anybody. And I told them not to do that. And you know what? Here we are. I have a lot of stories of employees, to be honest. I can always do story times because they're really interesting, between employees, between clients. Like, it's a lot. It's a lot. If you are in my same position, like in your 20s, and honestly, I was not expecting to be in a manager role yet. Actually, right now I would be expecting to be one, but like in my early 20s, I was never expecting to be a manager at all. How I got this position was I was an assistant manager, and then my manager actually got fired for some unknown reason. Don't know, don't care, not my business. So I was the assistant manager, so I stepped up, and actually I became manager when we got that green light from COVID. So the day that Ohio opened up their salons was the day I became manager. I got fortunate though, because at the time I did have a really great staff. I had one that was already a manager at a different store, so she helped me. I had another one that was there for 3+ years. Awesome, cool. I had another one that's been there for 10+ years. Awesome, cool. So we really worked as a team, and it really helped me, and I barely had to manage them. And they were, honestly, them and my last store was probably the easiest two that I have ever had to manage. Actually, the last store that I had to manage was the easiest because I had 2 assistant managers, great assistant managers. I would never trade them for the world. I do miss them. I've talked about them nonstop because I was very fortunate to have them, honestly. And I loved working with them. And honestly, if I was still in the Columbus area, I probably would still be working there, because I don't agree with the franchise owner, but what made it more worth it was the employees. And that's what really matters. And what sucks is when you go into a manager role, they do treat you, like with higher ups, they do treat you a little bit harsher. They don't really care that much, if that makes sense, because as an employee, they really like tiptoed around the employees, try to treat the employees really nice because they can just up and quit. A manager, it's a little bit harder to quit, to be completely honest, because I've thought about quitting this place for years now. However, I've really looked about it, and it's hard to find a chain salon that would be matching the pay, to be completely honest. Because the chain salon I work for, I just don't agree with it. However, I still have to work for them. And if it was not for the employees and the money, I would have been long gone. To be completely honest, like, I'm not gonna say where I worked or anything. At the same time, I would have been gone. Now, as a manager, you do have to watch what you say to your employees. I am a very, very blunt person, and yes, I do have a lot of anger issues. You do have to control your anger with these employees because there can be lawsuits upon lawsuits, and you don't want that, or they can get unemployment, and that is the last thing that HR wants to deal with. So you have to um our salon, we have to document every conversation you have with an employee. You do have to document or write it down or say this date we had this conversation. Make them sign it, even if it's on a piece of paper, handwritten. Don't put emotions into the document, even if it's not a write-up. Don't put emotions into the document, because then if the court tries to get them for unemployment, they're going to say, well, this person was just upset and that's why they wrote you up. No, it needs to be factual of what happened. Luckily where I do work, they give you that training as well, because I have told my higher ups, to be completely honest, I am very blunt, or it's weird, like there's no in between. I'm very blunt, where I have made employees cry because they're just messing up so much. I'm like, what in the world? Or I've had to tiptoe around it, and they just don't get the hint of it until I explode, and they're like, well, why is Crystal exploding? Well, I've told you multiple times, very nicely, you need to do your job, and clearly that's not working. So I've had to be very nice to my employees, even though it is very, very hard. Also, moving on to your personal boundaries. I highly recommend, if you do have an assistant manager, great, awesome. They need to go to your assistant manager for things. So like, let's say it's your day off, but your assistant manager is at the store. Your assistant manager is supposed to be the manager while you're not there. And your days off are your days off. You're not supposed to come in or anything. Now, unfortunately, the store I took over, they don't have an assistant manager. So everybody's running to me on my days off, doing, like, asking me things, and I'm gonna have to put up a boundary here soon, that you can only contact me during store hours. And please say store hours, because you don't want somebody, let's say your store closes at 8 or 9 or even 10, and someone's messaging you at midnight. Now, I get if it's emergency reasons, blah blah blah, that's whatever. However, when somebody messages you at midnight, because I've had employees just message me at midnight, wanting just to talk, or message me about drama. It's like, why? So I will put up that boundary. Or on vacation, when I'm on vacation, I'll give them my higher ups or their number. It's like, okay, I'm out of town. Go ahead and reach to our higher up supervisor or whoever. I'll give them the phone number. It's like, this is who you need to contact if anything goes wrong, because I am out for a week. Do not message me. Do not contact me. I will not reply. So what I have had to do is on Apple, is there is a do not disturb. I will put it on do not disturb until like maybe later, and then like if anyone messages me, I will tell them I'm on vacation, refer to somebody else, or I don't know, but I will not be happy if I get that message during vacation. And also, please take your vacation. Even if you are a manager, you do need to take a vacation. You know how important it is, because you are going to burn yourself out. You don't think you're going to have burnt out right now because you're working all these hours. Trust me, you're going to have these burnouts, and you're going to hate what you do. Because I've been there and I've done that, and it's a struggle to pull yourself out. I promise you it will. You don't think so right now, but it will happen. On that same subject, when I am on lunch, I go to my car. Or I move parking spaces. However, I've also had, when I'm in the back in my office eating like a sandwich or something and I'm on break, I legitly have had people knock on my office door. Oh, there's somebody up front. Or, can you help me with this? While I'm on break. I'm like, this is why I go out and actually take my break, because stop disturbing me. It is my 30 minutes of just not talking to somebody. Just leave me alone. Like, I don't know. So there is struggles, but there, again, there is benefits. Not trying to make it all negative. There is benefits to it. So like, if you're not even at a chain salon or you're a mom and pop salon, there's benefits to it. Again, you can make your own schedule or your own schedule. You can like approve some things. You can do a lot as managers, even if you're not in a salon and just like a store or something. There's some benefits to it, and you also get to, I don't know, there's benefits. There's benefits to every store. I can just say the salon part, there's benefits. I don't know about every store, like a restaurant business or anything, because I've never been a manager for a restaurant and probably never will. And it is a lot of hard work. However, my biggest favorite thing that I love being a manager is, yes, I have first dibs on that schedule, which is super nice. I can pick my vacation, super nice. I also get the first look at my paycheck because where I work is we can do our own payroll, which is super nice. So I get to look at how much I'm already going to get paid. And that is super cool. Like a lot of stylists probably already like know roughly around how much they're going to get paid, but I actually like do the math and do everything. And that's kind of cool. Now I won't get paid until Thursday, but still, like, I'm like, okay, I know how much I'm going to be making. This is kind of cool. I hope you guys like this video. Comment down below if you guys want to hear any story times while I have been a manager, and there's a lot, trust me. And I hope I didn't run anyone off by being a manager, because there is negativity in it. However, there is a lot of perks of being a manager as well. Also, it does look good on your resume if you become a manager, with the experience as well. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe to my channel for more story time videos, because I would love to bring more story time videos. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Bye, guys.